Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt, and this is Team Chicago Challenge. As we continue to look at some of the great races from the past, 2002 was a very exciting season for Team Chicago. It was the second year that Team Chicago won the national championship running the WERA National Endurance Series, and we were running a middleweight super stock with the Yamaha R6. Phil Caldwell joined Team Chicago in 2002 with Steve Karson, Phil Caldwell, and myself as we went after the championship. In fact, it came right down to the end who won middleweight super stock. Let's watch the beginning of this 4-hour national endurance, and let's see how Team Chicago does. Checking in the points coming into this race, round 4 in heavyweight super stock, is Vesrah Suzuki. They're leading. Northern Getaway is in second. Heavyweight super stock, J&J Motorsports, they're leading. Team HMR is running in second place. Lightweight superbike, Team Infotech is leading as the bikes begin to take their warm-up lap. Team Charm is second. Middleweight superbike, Army of Darkness has got 3:15 to Vesrah Racing 2 at 3:84. And a middleweight super stock, Team Chicago, we're leading. Team Life, we've got 5.3 points, 281.08 to 275.7. As we see Steve Karson on the Team Chicago 4 and 6 Yamaha taking a warm-up lap. The overall points, it's Vesrah Suzuki, Army of Darkness, Vesrah 2, Northern Getaway, J&J Motorsports, 14K to Movie, Team Extreme, Team Chicago, Team Life, and Psychotherapy. As we get ready for the start, they watch the flag man, watch the countdown. Three-wave start, 47 teams. See the bikes go down the front straightaway, back up the next straightaway. You bring them into turn 5. These short little S's. Up front, ooh, look at that lead. Vesrah Suzuki on that 1,000. Vesrah brakes. Suzuki, Wantana, Nielsen Enterprise. We see Steve Karson come by. Neighbor the Beast is right behind them. Right in front of them is Team Life. Steve Karson on that 4 and 6 Yamaha dealers. 4 and 6 prepared. R6 Yamaha. VIR is a twisty track. Many corners. Down the front straightaway. Vesrah Suzuki's up front. Army of Darkness, Team Extreme. And yet Vesrah Suzuki 1,000. Looks like Trey Beatty is taking the start. He stretches his lead. He is on fire. Second place, Army of Darkness. Third place, Vesrah Suzuki 2. Team Extreme running in the top 4. Lightweight bikes, Team Infotech's right up there. The team out of Colorado. Everything's gone smoothly so far. They said this is a twisty track. Battle for second between Army of Darkness 99 and 57. It's Vesrah Racing 2, also on a 600 Suzuki. Right behind them, number 2, it's Team Extreme on that. Could be a 750 Suzuki or 1,000. Psychotherapy 21 comes by. Here comes the battle for middleweight super stock. Team Life, number 85, 45, Team Chicago 667 is Neighbor the Beast. On the downhill roller coaster, up front in that lightweight class, is MB Motorsports on a 650 Suzuki, sponsored by Maxima, VP, Vesrah, Micron, Dunlop. And while the teams sort themselves out, earlier I had a chance to talk to some of the racers in the pits. So let's go to their comments right now.
Shane Williams from Cincinnati, Ohio. We're riding with Deals Gap Racing, and we're running endurance this year because of the love of the sport. You can never get too much track time, and endurance seems to be the way to go. So, and it's a big team effort, so it brings a lot of people into the game with you. So it's a lot of fun.
Kevin Warner, just for the good track time and the fun.
My name's Trey Beatty. I've been riding endurances since around 1990. Started out with Swine Dudes, then moved on to Hall and Steel, then Team Valvoline, John Ulrich's team, then did some endurance races with ArcLight Suzuki, and now I'm with Team Vesrah, Mark Young's team. I love doing endurance races. It gives you plenty of track time and a lot of time to kind of slowly nibble away at some of the things that might be a challenge to you on the racetrack. You don't have to go out and take a big bite at once and possibly get yourself hurt. You can kind of experiment with your riding and just try new ideas just a little bit at a time, and I like that. That's one of the things I like about the endurance and being able to race in the endurance. You never try to ride 110% unless you just are pushed to it in the last hour of the race. And I like the feeling after I start getting tired and just the pressure of trying to perform really well after you kind of lose that sharp edge. It's just, I don't know, you just have to do it to experience it.
Come back to the racing action, and talking about experience it, Trey Beatty and that Team Vesrah Racing Suzuki. He is flying out here, stretching the lead. He's at battle for second, continues between Army of Darkness, Vesrah Racing 2, Army of Darkness with Mark Kozier. They're running in second. On the charge, though, number 78, that's Scott Harwell. Scott Harwell is running S&S Endurance. He's teamed up with Shannon Hoffman and that Pirelli Tapeworks EBC Suzuki, and he's on the charge. He had to start from the second wave because it was a late entry. As you see, Steve Karson on the 4 and 6 Yamaha, battling with Team Life. Looks like Kevin Warren is on Team Life. They're on a Yamaha R6. Steve Carson's right there. Neighbor of the Beast is running right with him. This is the battle for middleweight super stock. See Steve Karson trying to get around Kevin. Whoa, watch it, Steve. Whoa. A little bobble. And Scott Fisher just gets by on Neighbor of the Beast on the 600 Suzuki. This is the battle of middleweight super stock. MB Motorsports on the 650 is running in 12th, and they're leading lightweight superbike. 71's got a problem. They're in the pit. It's Williams Racing. Uh-oh. Running off the track. That's Last Minute Racing, number 92. They're on a 600 Yamaha. And at Michelin, EBC, Voltex, Silkling, Yamaha. And they're out of Arkansas. She gets back on the track. Oh no, in the pits, Scott Fisher. Scott Fisher has crashed. Neighbor of the Beast. It's going to hurt them. They've had an engine failure. Coming down the front straightaway, it's 85. That's Team Life. Steve Karson, Team Chicago, right with them. Uh-oh, red flag. We're going to have a restart. And it was almost 1 hour into the race, so I'm going to take the restart. We still need fuel. But after 1 hour, it is up front.
Vesrah Racing, Scott Harwell on the S&S Endurance did make it to second place. Army of Darkness in third. Vesrah 2 is in fourth. Team Extremes in fifth. Psychotherapy 21's in sixth. Moto Heavens in seventh. Team Life is in eighth. Team Chicago, we're in ninth. Team Velocities running 10th. 11th place is Team Out of Sight. MB Motorsports running 12th. As we get ready for this restart, teams are ready. Watch the flag man. 1 minute board is up. They anticipate the start. Charge off the line. Now I have to make a gas stop. Our plan is to get right back into the pits and make this gas stop. Uh-oh, we got a bike up there. It's like a Yamaha. Don't got the number. With a loose fairing, he better head back into the pits. Up front, Scott Harwell making the breakaway. But Trey Beatty on the Vesrah Suzuki has just moved into the lead. As I go by, I'm running about 12th or 13th place. 45 teams are taking the start. So I head out under the bridge. Said MB Motorsport just go by. I have to go back into pits. I'm not trying to charge too hard. I don't want to be in a position where I might cut someone off or they think they're being cut off. Go through the S's up here on top of the hill. And that leads over to a roller coaster. This nice downhill. Right, left, swing it wide. And then to the right, I'm now signaling. Got my hand up, got my foot out. Stay on the inside. Heading back into the pits. Some of the other teams have come into the pits also. Let's see how quick we can get some gas in this 4 and 6 prepared Yamaha. Got Gary, Alan, Steve Karson. So we get this gas in and get down the road. So I head out up front to Vesrah Suzuki. And at Vesrah brakes, Suzuki, Wantana. Phil Caldwell is flying on the team Moto Heaven Honda as he gets by Army of Darkness. As I make it through this carousel, first corner, 180-degree turnaround into 2 and 3. I'm on the Team Chicago 4 and 6 prepared Yamaha dealers, R6. Head on out into the S's. 21 is Psychotherapy out of New York, and they're on that Psychotherapy Pirelli EBC 1000 Suzuki. They're running in 6th place. After making a pit stop, charging out there, number 78. It's Scott Harwell on that S&S Endurance, and he is on fire. Oh, rider down. Oh, no. Rider down. Let's check this out. It was turn 3. Let's slow it down. He could have blown the engine, and oil could have worked its way to the back wheel. That's one reason he might have crashed. hard to say, but a safe get off. The rider looks okay. Getting a red flag. They're red flagging this race again. There's the red flag again. And I'm right at the pit entrance. I start heading into the pits. The rider pushes his bike off. It's still smoking. He must have blown an engine, lost oil out the bottom. Now you have to park your bike away from the pit wall and leave it during a red flag situation. Oil on the track. They're calling for a cleanup. Uh-oh, the bike is on fire. Oh no. The motorcycle is on fire at the tire wall. Corner workers coming over, starting to spray it down. Is that one fire extinguisher going to be enough? Here comes another one. It looks like they're going to get it out, and we're going to have another restart. 1 minute board. The race can start at any time now. We watch Chuck, the starter. Looks us over. Board goes sideways. And the start. Less than 2 hours left in the event. So I can charge and stay with this pack. About 14 bikes, 15 bikes in the first pack. Don't want any of the bikes in middleweight super stock getting away. Got to stay in contention. We're leading in points coming into this event in middleweight super stock. Team Life is right ahead, a couple bikes up on me. To make it through turn 4 and 5, get on the gas, we head to the bridge, shift up. In the pits now, that's Vesrah Suzuki, Trey Beatty. We're gonna change tires, refuel. S&S Motorsport is up front. That's Scott Harwell. In the pits is Army of Darkness. As they make their pit stop, they're sponsored by ArmyofDarkness.com, Battery Cycle, International, City Cycle, M4, Michelin, Vanson. John Jacoby is getting on the Vesrah Suzuki as he heads out. As we see Jim Williams talking to Mark Kosier. Mark Kosier, who rode with Team Chaos last year, won middleweight super stock class. He is now with Army of Darkness, and he is hauling the bacon. This boy goes. He's a head down this downhill, the roller coaster or the corkscrew at VIR. What a great racetrack. I'm having big fun. So I head on to the front straightaway, shifting up, catching some of these bikes, trying to stay on the same lap with the other bikes in middleweight super stock. On the charge is Velocity Crew, but up front, middleweight super stock is Scott Harwell. He's on at Suzuki. And we should point out, with less than 2 hours left, and with that half-hour break for the cleanup, Scott Harwell can ride the rest of the race. He can finish this race. His partner does not have to ride, even though if I was his partner, I'd want to ride. But Scott Harwell is running in second place. Vesrah Suzuki's up front. Army of Darkness third. Vesrah 2 is fourth. Velocity, Team Velocity, also on a middleweight super stock. Plus you got Team Out of Sight, young Jason Peters. They're on the charge. Team Life, Phil Caldwell, and at Moto Heaven Honda, they're right up there in the top 10. MB Motorsport, Team Infotech are battling it out in lightweight super stock. Coming into pits now is Vesrah Racing 2. Changing both tires. Okay. This bike is running in middleweight superbike. But at the end of 3 hours of racing, up front is Vesrah, S&S, Army Darkness, Vesrah 2, Out of Sight, Team Velocity, Northern Gateway, Velocity Crew, Team Life, and Psychotherapy. Team Extreme, Pennzoil, they had a problem. They have dropped back on the charge. Army of Darkness, but they're running in third place. Mark Kozier is on the charge. He's on the same lap as Vesrah Suzuki, but so is S&S Endurance. Final hour of racing, 21. That's Psychotherapy. They're running in 9th place on that 1,000 Suzuki as Steve Karson is on the charge on the Team Chicago 4 and 6 prepared Yamaha dealers. We've fallen off out of the top 10. Steve is trying to make tracks catch back up. It's like 71 is back on track. 71 is at Williams Racing out of Alabama as Steve Karson makes his way around this other R6 Yamaha. And he's coming into the pits right now. Scott Harwell making a pit stop. S&S Motorsport, he is riding. According to the WERA rules, you can ride 120 minutes if you had a half-hour break. The red flag gave him the half-hour break. There was less than 120 minutes left in the race. Scott Harwell is going to ride this entire race. And S&S Endurance, sponsored by Pirelli, Tapeworks, EBC, this team out of North Carolina. But as S&S Endurance is in the pits, Army of Darkness is taking advantage. They have moved into second place now. Moving up front, 31. It's Team Infotech. They are now leading on that Infotech group. 650 Suzuki, they are now leading in lightweight superbike. As Steve Karson is now catching up with Phil Caldwell. 12, that's Phil Caldwell on that MotoHeaven.com 600 Honda, and they are leading in heavyweight super stock. He's not riding with Team Chicago. This is only a 4-hour race, but he's out there racing, having a good time. This is the battle for 11th. Phil is in 11th. Neighbor the Beast is trying to recover, but they lost some time. Northern Gateway, 39. They're on the charge up to 6th place. As we see the Vesrah team, number 1, John Jacoby, number 57. That's Brian Strokes. They're running 1st and 4th on the track. $14K the movie. They had a crash. They had a problem. They've lost their fairing. And they're part of the new movie. Check for that at your local theater. Team Life is making it by Pennzoil. Team Life, number 85, they're running in 8th place. Sponsored by Life Night Club, Lockhart Phillips, Moto Heaven, H&H, Moto Orts, G-Force, Pirelli. It's like Kevin Warner is on the bike right now. Vesrah Suzuki is up front. Army of Darkness is running 2nd. S&S Endurance is running 3rd. Vesrah Suzuki's running 4th. Team Out of Sight, number 118, is running 5th. Northern Gateway is running 6th. Team Velocity is 7th. Team Life is 8th. Uh-oh, another red flag. Less than a half hour to go. This is going to end the event. Psychotherapy 9th. Velocity Crew 10th. Moto Heaven 11th. Team Chicago 12th. Team Extreme. Team Infotech is 14th. As they start the trophy presentation, we're going to watch the trophies for the top 3 teams. The announcers announcing 3rd place overall S&S Endurance. S&S's win in middleweight super stock does not affect the points. After 4 rounds, Team Chicago, we're still leading. We got 351.78. Team Life has got 351.63. We've got .15 lead in middleweight super stock. Army of Darkness, this is another victory in middleweight superbike. They now lead over Vesrah Suzuki 2 as Mark Young accepts the award for the overall win in heavyweight superbike. They are leading. And as we watch Sam Fleming doing his trademark circle, special thanks to WERA and Dennis Torres for the additional video footage. We could not have done the show without their help. And the overall is Vesrah Suzuki, Army of Darkness, Vesrah 2, Northern Getaway. Music for the show by Engine, Mike Preetz, Intrigue and Travesty. And all this music recorded at Fireside Studios, Westchester, Illinois. 5th place is J&J, Team Extreme is 6th, Team Life is 7th, Team Chicago, we're 8th, Psychotherapy 9th, 14K the movie is 10th, and Team Infotech is in 11th place.
For more information on WERA, America's road race leader, that's Western Eastern Road Race Association, on Facebook, go to WERA Motorcycle Road Racing, WERA.com. For Virginia International Raceway, it's VIRnow.com, VIRnow.com. It was a good day in Virginia. To contact me, and I love to hear from my audience, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. And remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action, Dan Schmitt Politics, to learn what makes America great. And I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum. They're in Winamac, Indiana, 4 miles south of North Judson on Indiana Highway 39. But give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great trip and a great collection of motorcycles. And pick up your free copy of the Team Chicago History Package at Rich's Yamaha in Lockport, Illinois. But give them a call first at 815-838-8130. Their website is richesyamaha.com. And pick up your free Team Chicago History Package. If you want to find out about old motorcycles, the history of motorcycles, there's nothing like going to a motorcycle swap meet. Here's a few dates with Walnut Swap. WalnutSwap.com is the website for more info. We got Woodstock, we got Martinsville, we got Springfield, Ohio, Shepherdsville, Kentucky, and back to Woodstock.